Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Mrs. SUNIA LATIF, SS Chemistry at Divisional Public School and College, Sahiwal. Chapter 11, Alcohols, Phenols and Ethers, and today's topic to discuss is industrial preparation of alcohols, physical properties of alcohols, and we also have to discuss some questions from exercise like question number 5, 6, 7 and 9. Objectives of today's lessons are: my dear students will be able to know different methods for the preparation of alcohols. They will understand the physical properties of alcohols, and my dear students will be able to solve the problems of exercise. First of all, industrial preparation of alcohols. Students, formerly methanol was prepared by wood. That is why this is called as wood spirit. Nowadays, methanol is prepared by water gas. What is water gas? Water gas is the combination of two gases, carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas. Carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas, this water gas is converted into methanol under the conditions of 450 Celsius temperature and 200 atmospheric pressure. The catalyst required is zinc oxide and chromium oxide. So carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas mixtures are converted into methanol in the presence of two oxides, zinc oxide and chromium oxide, and the temperature condition is 450 Celsius and pressure required is 200 atmospheres. Dear students, this is the apparatus used for the preparation of methanol. Carbon monoxide and hydrogen gases are purified first of all in a gas purifier. Then these purified gases are sent to compressor under a pressure of 200 atmospheres. Then these compressed gases are sent to catalyst tower. Here the catalyst is heated up to 450 to 500 Celsius. Gases react to form methanol vapors. Then these vapors are sent to a condenser to get methanol. These vapors are condensed within a condenser and then sent to the collecting chamber where methanol is collected in the form of liquid. Still, this liquid contains unreacted gases, carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas, and these unreacted gases are sent to recirculation pump. From here, these unreacted gases are back to compressor to undergo the same process, to revise the same process to be converted into methanol. So this is the apparatus for the preparation of methanol on industrial level from the two gases, carbon monoxide and hydrogen, and the mixture of these two gases is also called as water gas. There is another industrial method for the preparation of ethanol which is called as fermentation. Dear students, first of all we will go to understand what is actually fermentation. It is a biochemical process which occurs in the presence of certain enzymes secreted by microorganisms such as yeast. ये प्रोसेस सर्टेन एंजाइम्स की मदद से होता है और ये एंजाइम्स कौन सक्रीट करता है? यीस्ट सक्रीट करता है। बायोकेमिकल प्रोसेस है। बायोकेमिकल प्रोसेस में हम इथेनॉल जो है वो हासिल करते हैं ऑन इंडस्ट्रियल लेवल। As we know, for biochemical processes, certain conditions are required. Otherwise, these reactions will not be carried out because these reactions are very much sensitive, and the microorganisms which are secreting these enzymes are also very sensitive to the conditions of the surrounding. So, essential conditions required for the fermentation are: the temperature should be optimum, that should be 25 to 35 Celsius. There should be proper aeration for the microorganisms. There should be dilution of solution, so highly concentrated solutions cannot be tolerated by these microorganisms and the enzymes secreted by these microorganisms. There should be absence of preservatives. Preservatives would not allow the microorganisms to grow up and to secrete enzymes. So fermentation is a biochemical process which occurs with the help of microorganisms, and these microorganisms secrete some particular enzymes, and these process require some conditions that are required by the enzymes, because enzymes are very sensitive species. Enzymes are particular and very sensitive and can be helpful only on optimum temperature conditions. On high temperatures, enzymes become inactive. In Pakistan, ethanol is prepared by fermentation of molasses, starch and fruits. Look at, dear students, in the fermentation, this is the sugar and this is the yeast. This yeast will secrete some particular enzymes which will act on this sugar, and this sugar will be converted into alcohol and carbon dioxide. These are alcohol molecules and these are carbon dioxide molecules. Sugar, with the help of yeast, is converted into alcohol and carbon dioxide. What is molasses? Dear student, the residue obtained after the crystallization of sugar from concentrated sugar cane juice is called molasses, and its appearance is like this black colored highly concentrated solution. Molasses, its chemical formula is C12H22 and O11. Invertase secreted by yeast will convert this molasses into simple sugars, that is glucose and fructose. Glucose is C6H12O6, fructose is also C6H12O6, but their structure formulas are different from each other. They are isomers of each other. Then glucose undergo changes with the help of another enzyme, that is zymase, and this zymase is again secreted by yeast, and glucose undergo changes and is converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide. Glucose is converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide gas. This is fermentation of molasses. Again, look at, the glucose is getting entered into the yeast cell, and this yeast cell is converting this glucose into ethanol and carbon dioxide. Yeast cell is converting this entering glucose molecule into ethanol and carbon dioxide. This is again fermentation. On industrial level, ethanol can also be obtained from starch. Look at this. This is the chemical formula of starch. There are so many sources of starch. Rice is a very common and most abundant source of starch. C6H10O5 changes to H12H22O11 with the help of an enzyme diastase, which is created by yeast, and this C12H22O11 again is hydrolyzed to convert into glucose with the help of an enzyme maltase, which is again secreted by yeast. C12H22O11 is converted into simple sugar units C6H12O6. Now these glucose molecules undergo again changes with the help of an enzyme zymase created by yeast into ethanol C2H5OH plus carbon dioxide. So starch can also be converted into ethanol within 3 steps, and 3 different enzymes are required for all these steps. Very first step, diastase enzyme is required. In the second step, maltase enzyme is required, and in the third step, zymase enzyme is required to convert glucose into ethanol and carbon dioxide. This is all about fermentation and the preparation of ethanol from molasses and from starch. These are the chemical reactions involved for this conversion. Now, absolute alcohol. Dear student, what is absolute alcohol? Ethyl alcohol, which is 100% pure, is called absolute alcohol. Absolute alcohol is obtained by redistillation of rectified spirit in the presence of quicklime, which absorbs moisture. Dear students, the alcohol obtained by the preparation of fermentation is not absolute because it is only 12 to 14%. And absolute alcohol is 100% pure, and the purity for this absolute alcohol is obtained by the repetition of the distillation process by redistillation of rectified spirit in the presence of quicklime. Quicklime is a dehydrating agent. It will absorb moisture from the alcohol, and alcohol will turn into 100% pure alcohol, that is called as absolute alcohol. Methylated spirit. What is methylated spirit? Dear students, sometimes alcohol is denatured by addition of 10% methanol to avoid its use for drinking purpose. Such alcohol is called methylated spirit. A small quantity of pyridine or acetone may also be added. Alcohol जिसके अंदर हम 10% मिथेनॉल ऐड कर देते हैं ताकि इथेनॉल का जो ड्रिंकिंग पर्पस है उसे ख़त्म किया जा सके, तो ये जो मिक्सचर है इथेनॉल प्लस 10% मिथेनॉल का, इसे हम मिथाइलेटेड स्पिरिट कहते हैं. सो methanol contaminated ethanol is called methylated spirit, and this is not suitable for drinking because methanol is very dangerous for us. A small quantity of methanol can cause blindness and a large quantity of methanol can cause death of human body. So methanol is added to ethanol to avoid its use for drinking purpose. There is pyridine and acetone, which can also perform the same function as methanol. Rectified spirit. Another term which is related to ethanol is rectified spirit. What is rectified spirit? Alcohols obtained by fermentation is only up to 12% and its concentration never exceeds from 14%, because beyond this limit enzymes become inactive. This is distilled again and again to obtain 95% alcohol, which is called rectified spirit. After fermentation, the obtained alcohol is only 12% and its concentration never exceeds than 14%. As we know, in higher concentrations, enzymes are not active. And the fermentation is a biochemical process which can be carried out only with the help of enzymes. So concentrations of the solutions should be maintained. This obtained ethanol is distilled again and again to obtain 95% alcohol, and 95% alcohol is called rectified spirit. Students, recall 100% alcohol is called absolute alcohol and 95% alcohol is called rectified spirit. 100% alcohol is called absolute alcohol and 95% alcohol is called as rectified spirit, which is obtained by the re and redistillation of alcohol obtained by the process of fermentation, which is very low in its concentration. Denaturing of alcohols. Ethanol is denatured by addition of 10% methanol, small quantity of pyridine or acetone to avoid its use for drinking purpose. Again, ethanol can be denatured by the addition of 10% methanol, a small quantity of pyridine and acetone, and this ethanol will be called as methylated spirit. Here are some physical properties of alcohols. Lower alcohols are generally colorless, toxic liquids with characteristic sweet smell and burning taste. Alcohols are colorless, toxic liquids, and these liquids have characteristic sweet smell and their taste is burning. And these alcohols are soluble in water, but it decreases in higher alcohols. Why they are soluble in water? Alcohols are soluble in water due to the development of hydrogen bonding between water and alcohol molecules. Both these have hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms. As we know, hydrogen bonding is a very strong intermolecular interaction between hydrogen atom of one molecule and oxygen atom of other molecule containing lone pairs. So both water and alcohol have oxygen as well as hydrogen atoms. So hydrogen atom of one molecule develop hydrogen bonding with the oxygen atom of alcohol, or hydrogen atom of alcohol may develop hydrogen bonding with the oxygen atom of water. So there develops a very strong interaction between the molecules of alcohols and water. That's why their solubility is very high, and they can be prepared. Solutions of alcohol and water can be prepared to any concentration, and they are completely miscible into one another. Solubility is due to hydrogen bonding. Melting and boiling points are higher than corresponding alkanes. Like methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol are liquids, while methane and ethane are gases. Methyl alcohol containing 1 carbon, ethyl alcohol containing 2 carbon atoms, they are liquids in nature, while methane 1 carbon molecule, ethane that is 2 carbon molecule, they are gases. So from these physical states we can understand that methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol have high melting and boiling points because they exist in liquid state. Methane and ethane are gases, they have comparatively low melting and boiling points. Now dear students, there are some other methods to prepare alcohols. We can also prepare primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols from Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent is a very helpful reagent in the organic synthesis. A lot of molecules can be prepared with the help of this reagent, Grignard reagent. Look at how can we prepare different types of alcohols from this reagent. Formaldehyde, on reacting with ethyl magnesium bromide, is converted into CH3CH2O MgBr. This intermediate on hydrolysis is converted into CH3CH2 CH2OH plus MgBrOH. This is converted into alcohol, 1-propanol. This is converted into 1-propanol. Secondary alcohol from Grignard reagent. Secondary alcohol can also be prepared from the Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent, when reacts with ethanol or acetaldehyde, it is converted into CH3, CH2CH. There is another methyl radical OMGBr, and this intermediate on hydrolysis is converted into CH3, CH2CH, CH3OH plus MgBrOH. This is 2-butanol or secondary alcohol. This molecule containing 4 carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, butanol, and the hydroxyl group is attached to the second carbon. That's why it is called as 2-butanol, and the carbon containing this hydroxyl group is further attached with 2 carbon atoms. That's why this carbon is called secondary carbon, and this type of alcohol is called as secondary alcohol. To prepare tertiary alcohol, we have to react this Grignard reagent with acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, and CH3 twice carbon. There is again an ethyl radical, OMGBr. This intermediate on hydrolysis is converted into tertiary alcohol and MgBrOH. Dear students, this is tertiary alcohol and it is 2-methyl 2-butanol. Look at, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon atoms. That's why it is butanol. and hydroxyl group is attached on this carbon, it is 2-butanol, and a methyl group is attached again with this carbon, so it is 2-methyl 2-butanol, and this alcohol is tertiary alcohol because the carbon with which this hydroxyl group is attached is further bonded with 3 carbons, 2 methyl groups and 1 ethyl group. So this carbon is tertiary carbon, and this type of alcohol is tertiary alcohol. How we can differentiate between methanol and ethanol? There is a method to differentiate between methanol and ethanol. Ethanol and methanol can be distinguished by a test that is called as IDO Form Test. Ethanol can react with iodine and sodium hydroxide, and it can be converted into IDO form, sodium formate, sodium iodide, and water molecules. And yellow precipitates of this IDO form are observed. When ethanol reacts with iodine in the presence of sodium hydroxide, yellow colored precipitates are formed. But methanol, when reacts with iodine and sodium hydroxide, no yellow colored precipitates are formed. There is no reaction of methanol with iodine. No IDO form is formed. So, with this test, methanol and ethanol can easily be distinguished due to the formation of yellow colored precipitates in this reaction. Recapitulation. In Pakistan, ethanol is commercially prepared from molasses. Molasses is the residue obtained after the crystallization of sugar. Then fermentation is a biochemical process which may occur naturally or artificially. दोनों तरह से fermentation हो सकता है, naturally भी हो सकता है और artificially भी हो सकता है. Fermentation जो है वो biochemical process है that undergoes with the help of enzymes that are secreted by microorganisms, especially yeast. Ethyl alcohol obtained by fermentation is less than 12% concentrated, and its concentration can be increased by repeating the process of distillation. Ethanol can be denatured to avoid its drinking. How it can be denatured? By the addition of 10% methanol, which is dangerous to the human health. All types of alcohols can be prepared by Grignard reagent. As we have seen, Grignard reagent when react with formaldehyde, primary alcohol is prepared. Grignard reagent when reacts with acetaldehyde, secondary alcohol is prepared. Grignard reagent when reacts with acetone, tertiary alcohol is prepared. With formaldehyde, primary alcohol. With acetaldehyde, secondary alcohol. And with acetone, tertiary alcohol is obtained. Methanol and ethanol can be distinguished by IDO Form Test. Ethanol gives IDO Form Test. It forms yellow colored IDO form, but methanol doesn't give this test, so these two alcohols can easily be distinguished by the IDO Form Test. Dear student, today's assignment for you is, what is fermentation? Write reactions of fermentation of starch. You have also to define some particular terms like what is absolute alcohol, what is denaturing of alcohol, define rectified spirit, what is water gas. Dear student, can you prepare alcohol from ethene? Recall the previous reactions. You can also prepare alcohol from dehydration of ethene. You have to write the reaction for the preparation of alcohol by the ethene. This is all from my side. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.